Hello, good morning. Whoa. Wow. Hello, good morning. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I'll try to make a single speech of what I really like to do and how Shining works in my digital workflow. So now you can see here this picture. This is a picture where I come from. This is Blanes. This is a small town in the Costa Brava. This is where I live, and this is where I have my two living projects with Gemma, that is my wife, and it's a clinical. Okay, this is Gemma, and this is part of my team. This is the clinical lab, and this is part. Okay, and this is my lab where I spend most of the day trying to make my designs and trying to work with everything. So I have a class where I can show how people have to introduce to the digital workflow. And I try to speak about my beginnings. I started when 3.1 in Windows started. I started with this kind of software. It was 3D Max, first edition. And I tried to make my first designs in Tooth, but it was only a way to make it renderable. It was impossible to face it. But when I started working in my clinica, I introduced it in 2000, the first CEREC unit. It was a full system where I could introduce some technical technology in the clinica and make a marketing tool too, because I could be able to make my own designs and make it in only one day. So the perception and the awareness of the patient was incredibly high. But remember that these systems will only work with stitching software, not 3D. So the software has grown a lot. So during this time, I've been able to work as a digital artist, and I've been relating with all these kind of softwares, and I've been beta tester of FryRender and Max Studio. So it is just the way I know. Okay, as a dental technician, I have one perspective of digital dentistry, but as an owner and manager of a clinica, I do have a different than a technical process. And I do know which are the difference and which are the requirements of the industry. And I know the patient, and I know the doctors, and I know the company requirements. So I'm able to use it for achieving good results and being a benchmark for companies and for reference patients. So this is something that for me is very important, because I introduce new materials and new techniques without taking part of money. During the last years, I've been working as a developer for different companies. I've been developing different T-bases for them. And now I'm very proud to be one part of the family of Shining as a QOL. QOL for me is, they don't have to hear it, but I'm the one that I'm always claiming, and I'm getting crazy, the people from the R&D. So how can digital workflow will benefit our dental practice? It's very easy to answer this question, but we will do it later. Okay, we all make macaroni with tomato. What does it mean? Yes, we are clinic, yes, and we all make this kind of dough. But which is the difference between us and the other? It is the care we make. This is how the passion we do. It is which ingredients do we have. If we add tomato, if we add some tuna, if we put cheese, how we present the plate. This is what is the real difference. And we need the passion to convince them to come to us. So which tool do we do for that? So this is how the digital dentistry comes inside, and this is how we use it. So for us, the most important thing is the passion. So what we really need is to say to him, okay, I'm special, I have the best ingredient. So please, we always know that we have the best collaborators, we have the best techniques, we have the best doctors, okay? But which is our ingredient? In this case, I will show you one way. We have a Clinica with a scanner, okay? And they use it only for a clean check. And the clean check just with some videos and some camera photos. Is this a workflow? Yes, it is a workflow, and it works for presenting a treatment plan and for the patient to get an awareness and a good perception of the Clinica and to take a modernity idea of this Clinica. But is it so? Yes. But which is your ingredient? The ingredient is, in this case, the clean check for that. But many people are tired of only one thing, and they do know that there are all other chances to do that. So now Shine Family has a bunch of devices that can help us to create a marketing communication, okay? And now we have been working all the time only with the scanner, but when we take this scanner, okay, we really like it, it's good, but we can show to the patient, but which is this position? Okay, I don't know which planes they have. I don't know nothing about that. So now, today we have released this, the facial, okay, where we can have the patient in front of us. We can know which movements he makes. We can know which is his position, okay? So this is very nice, but we also have other communication tools like auto simulation. We can share what we can do with the patient just in a moment, just making a setting up and moving the tooth for him to understand. But it is just a simulator, but this is what marketing goes up. So when we speak about printers, we can have a treatment plan, we can model it, and then we can print it. L4D is one of the best machines I have ever tasted. So you can taste it. Of course, we don't have to forget that all the clinics have their own resources. They have cameras, they have CVTs, or they have auto RX. So this is good. But what we really need is the capacity to be able to track how the movements are, because it is just not only occlusion, this movement. We know that we have to chew, okay? We know that we have laterality movements. So these tools will help us, and all these tools will help us to have something visual, and that something visual is something to communicate, and this is great. But you don't have to forget that you can upload it to the website, okay, where we have a cloud, and any collaborator can download and work directly with it for making, for example, a treatment plan. Okay. Don't forget the camera. So here's a formula I like to say, that when you have a patient and you use the good marketing tools, you have a very good awareness of what you have in the clinica. But the patient gives a good perception, so he will recommend you. So this is the main thing that you want when you are making marketing. But here something's missing. It's missing the treatment. Why is missing the treatment? Okay, because you will stand for an analogic treatment in this way, because you are only making marketing. You're not using. I was last day meet with some people that had very big clinics, and they say, okay, I only use it for orthodontics, not anything else. So let's think about that. Okay, what happens if you Google, how can digital workflow benefit you? Okay, this is what it plays. Increased productivity, audit trail, enhanced process, error resolution and reduction, increased cost efficiency, improve customer service. And if we focus on a clinica, okay, the advantage of adopting a digital workflow include decreased chair time, improved accuracy, fewer remakes, faster turnaround time, and much greater efficiency for clinics, labs, and patients. Okay, if it's not in Google, it doesn't exist. And this is what workflow means, and digital workflow means. And marketing, it's not that. So we need something different. We have to rebuild our make. Okay, this is my proposal. Okay, now we have included the lab, okay, in our workflow, and we still need to use everything that we used in the marketing, so we don't have to create any other investment different that we really have. So we will change the words. Why? Because when we have, for example, the auto simulation, we will change it to the auto design, where we will be able to create an aligners, or we will be able, as a dentist, to create an IBT, okay, for placing the brackets or for placing everything that we really need. So this has changed. Maybe we will send it by the cloud to the lab and we will work with it. Another thing that has been changed is that when we send it directly to the lab, we can use softwares like CAD in the lab, and we will do it digitally. When Google tells us that we are reducing errors, the errors are that if I'm choosing the scanner only for making a photo to show to the patient, what happens if I have to make it manually? I take it manually, I have to cast it, I have to pour, I have to send it, and this is manipulation times, and this is manipulation way of doing. So when it comes to the lab, I will have these same issues, because I have to manipulate it too. So if I have something digitally, why do I have to convert it in analogical to then scan it again and convert it digitally too again? So this is very annoying job. If we try to do it just in digitally, we will reduce this kind of errors. And we really have what we really scan. Of course, you have to create a learning curve to be able to work with it. But it is a very, very, very fast learning curve. Another thing is that we should send to the facial to the lab, and you will do something like sending trackings or camera photos or something. But now it's been opened a new way of treatment, that it is the chairside way. Because in the chairside way, we are able to print our designs in the Clinica, but we are able to create a temporary crown. We are able to create with a chairside milling machine an overlay or a veneer, okay? And we can go to the AutoCAD, create one splint and print it with our machines with R4D. So here's everything is a new way of looking, the way of working. It's very important for me. So now the formula has changed. Now I have the passion, I have the marketing tool, and I have the working tool. You are not, it's not mandatory to have all the devices, but you don't have to forget that you have these devices. So when you're using this way, your work is growing, your passion is very happy, but the most important, your job is better. Okay, as you probably know, this is MateSmile. You probably know how it works. It's an incredible machine, and I will tell you some things about before MateSmile. I tried to use another systems. They were captured with surface, with some kind of advice. Then I place some kind of araucos or markers. Then I will have to put it into the desktop scanner and scan it for having the misalignment errors. Then I will match it. Then I will set the points. Then I will have the relationships. And then, after all, I have my face. Okay, this is my final purpose, okay, my goal, to have my mouth, my jaws related to the crane. Okay, now I like to say, not anymore without my MateSmile. And I will show you a case, a real case. Okay? It's not a matter of showing you the best case. It is not my goal. It is how I use this and which benefit will you have when you use it, and what will be the difference when you use it. Okay, this is, sorry. Okay, this is a patient. She's Yolanda. She's 38 years old. She's female. It's very smoker person, very bad hygiene, you know, and she doesn't want to make any kind of orthodontics. No one. So we make the exploration. We can see there's many absences, okay, many defects. Let's look at the occlusion. It's a class 2 with overbite, vertical extrusions, no way, no place for posterior tooth, no way. So this is what we plan with all the team. This is treatment options, exos, it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of bone reduction and pilot gate. Okay. This is what we usually do. We take our scan, we place it in front of us, and we say, okay, it's a line, it works. Let's work on it. Now, this is the patient. I introduce you. You can see it's different, the position, yes? Okay, let's go to something that it is common for dental technician. We used to work with DSD. DSD is digital smile design. So, okay, we take a shot. This was made with a 4K camera, so we can choose different images, we can move it, and we can place it. One of the biggest problems when we work with images is that the focus that we are using is different than the software we are using. So the focal view is different, and the depth is different. So probably there will be a big misalignment. So now you can see we use the points. This is Dental Smile Creator in Exocad. We trace the lines, and here's what it happens. Okay, let's see. This is the Smile Creator lines, and see what happens when we overlay these jaws. Okay, at the moment it looks okay. There's everything in the front and the incisors. Okay, it goes right, but look what happens in the posterior tooth. Oh, there's a misalignment. And this makes our design to blink to one part. Let's see what happens when we try to model. Okay, this is our work, for daily work. Okay, now we have the position, now we move the tooth. Okay, when I have the articulator, I move it. Look what happens when I move it. I don't like this way. So, but I have to work in this way. Let's see what happens with the articulator. I place it, everything looks all right. Yes, the planes are okay, but let's reveal the photo. Wow, something happened. It's not good. Are you okay? That's not good? Okay, this is the position that we can achieve when we are working with a photo. Of course, it has changed, but if I send this to the printer or to the milling machine and create any kind of snap-on, any kind of model, everything is bad. And I will have to remember that Google says time, and this is not time, because here I will spend more visits. And if I'm talking about money, more visits means more money. So this is not good. But look at the position. It looks better than the first one. And here's where my friend comes. This is MateSmile. Let me see something that you have probably seen here. It's very easy. You can put the patient, you can make it in a fixed mode, you can make it in a handheld mode. It depends on you. I fairly prefer to do it in handheld mode, but in this case we do it in this way. We take different shots and different bites. Okay, I don't want to bother anymore. Look, now we have the jaws, and we are able to load this girl. Yes, it's exactly that the one, but she doesn't speak. It is better. So here we take an open bite, and with this open bite we will make an alignment, and this match will help us. But we can take different shots. with different movements. If it's smiling, mid-smile, okay? Because everything changes when you are speaking. Everything changes when you are working. Okay, so here's the result in ExoCAD. It's an easy exporting, okay? You can see, this is exactly what DSD asked you to do. 12 o'clock, left profile, right profile, okay. But here's something more. Now, what I have to do is to put it in the articulator. But the articulator is not real articulator, it's a crane. It's a crane with all those positions. We have to create Frankfurt. We have to see where it really goes. Now we take out the tooth, and once we have the alignment. And this alignment has been very easy. It's just a matter of one button pushing. Okay, if you go further, you can include the CCVT, okay, image. And if you put it and try to look if it's well measured and it's well aligned, it is very, very good, well aligned. Different positions. As I had the CCVT, I can perform just changing the unities, different images. In this case, the same CVT for the jaw, it changed to look the volume. Now you can see the volume, and the volume fits perfectly. The same with the lower jaw. And here's the way I like to work. Okay, it is not a matter of, oh wow, impressive modeling. No, it is just what we do. We try to fit the best way to put the tooth like we really like, okay, the best shape. But this is normally. We haven't changed anything in this moment. But let's see a moment. Now we reveal the face scan, and now we can move it. We can see the profiles. We can see how does this new modeling affects. We can see that this is the good profile, or if it's not. If we have to put a little bit more, we have to create anything different. For example, in this case, I will discover that these tooth are still too large. So, okay, let's reduce it a little bit. Let's make it a little bit triangle. Okay, because I have the shape of the face. I see if she had a very big face, if she had a long face. Oh, let's see. Okay, many tooth. I see. Okay, I do it. I have the patient in front of me. It's incredible. It's really incredible. Okay, now we go with the treatment. We will perform some crowns. As I told you, she doesn't want to make any kind of surgery, any kind of orthodontic treatment. So finally we decide to make a little bit of tissue graft. Of course, this is just an image. It is not the real result. And this will be the result. If you look at this, she will be very proud to have this new image. And everything has been because of I have the patient in front of me. Of course, when I had the patient in front of me, I haven't told you that it was incredibly amazing about my new technology. So even if you work, this is a great job for marketing. Let's look at it. And now we will see how different is a plane, and now we reveal the facial scan. Incredible. Don't have to say nothing. Okay, now we're gonna go with the treatment plan. We will use the printer. We will create some models. Very easy. You will see that the software is able to do it by itself. Now it has some withers that you do it just with the push of a button. Here I do it manually, but you will see that it's very short time. It's just putting, it aligns by itself, and it generates the supports, and it works perfectly. And now it sends to the webs, to the cloud, where also the lab or the clinica itself can print it by. Okay, and this is the result. You can see it. With this result, we will go with the patient and we will discuss it. We will go with our teamwork and we will discuss it. And now we'll go for the surgeon. Once in the surgery, we decide we have to make a reduction of bone. So with the doctor, I plan the treatment, and here you can see that we create the implant positioning. In this case, as it is a very difficult case, we won't use a surgery guide as itself. We will use a pilot guide just for placing the burr, okay, creating the position for the tooth, and then we will open and we will take out all this bone. You will see now in the next video that we have different measurements of every single implant and how do we have to make the reduction of the bone. Okay, and now going to the pilot guides. It's very easy. You can make it just with the splint software, okay, from exocad. Just make a splint and getting away the design you've made with the planning software, just with the vertical axis, put it into the exocad and make a Boolean operation. Very easy. And then we place it to the mouth. This was very short time. This was last week because it's a very new release. So here you can see the placement, the holes, and the bone that we take. The implants place it, and next week we will place the lower part. So finally, I would like to make a comparison. It's not what product is good or what product is not good. I don't like this. But I have to tell you that I've decided to work with this machine because other products doesn't hesitate me. Snap, I make it, I align it. MateSmile, I make it, I take it. And the leader. The leader is the scanner that you can find in any little device from Apple or something like that from 13M. So here you can see just a comparison of MateSmile, the leader, and the snap. Here in front. And let's see what happens when you align it. When you align it, you see that there's no coincidence points. This is not good. Now, if I put it in front of the snap, you can see here that the eyes are a little bit down, the lip is down, but the cheek is up. This is because it's deformed. And you can see in the profile that nothing coincides. If you do the same with the leader, you can see, okay, I like the photo. Yes, there's a very good photo. But what happened with the measurements are not really good. So you can see that the cheek is still upper, and the most coincidence part is in the front part. Look what happened when we pair the jaw with the model. And this will happen when you use it to pair the MateSmile and the snap. And this will be your result when you will use another thing but snap. So thank you for hearing me these little moments. And if you want to follow me, please. And now if you have any question, please feel free to make it. No questions? Thank you very much.